There's a lot of noise going on. I got there's people chipping stuff out there on the road, but what's happening here for me is we've got two humongous digger pines that are major problems. This tree right back here, and there's another one out in front. And what happens is in July, August, September, this tree and the other tree, they start dropping pine cones that are like as big as my head. I mean, literally, I have to watch the kids and make sure nobody goes around those trees because seriously, the pine cones are humongous. They'll kill somebody if they fall on top of somebody. No joke. And PG&E, every year they send crews out here to look at the power lines to start cutting stuff down to make sure the power lines are clear. And every time they come out here, I like kind of point out those trees. I'm like, would anybody cut those? And they always like laugh at me. About 3 years ago or so, I had a tree trimmer come out here and give us some estimates. And we had estimates that were bare minimum $5 grand up to $10 grand to cut these trees down. So, you know, we've been wondering, how do we do this? How do we get this done? And ever since we had those estimates, every time the PG&E guys come out and look at the power lines, I always take them and say, hey, what about this tree? What about that tree? And about 2 months ago, we had an inspector come out and look at everything. Same thing. I told him, what about this tree? What about that tree? And he's like, well, I don't know. I'll mark them down. And it's up to the guys that cut. It's up to their discretion. So, I mean, they kind of pass the buck to a degree. And anyway, they come out, the guys that actually do the cutting come out, and then they say, well, our guidelines say this, this, and this. And every time before, they've always just said, no, we're not going to do it. So I told the inspector last time he was here, straight up, I said, every time you guys come out here, I'm going to point these out until somebody cuts them down. And lo and behold, tree trimmers are out here today, and they're cutting these two trees down. I can't believe it. So I'm getting anywhere from $5 to $10 grand worth of tree trimming work done, absolutely free today. Those roots that are in there, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they start messing up the outdoor bathroom we have. And plus our leach line is back here. Our septic tank is right there, and then our leach line comes out here in this area. So it's only a matter of time before this tree starts causing problems. I mean, I wonder why nobody cut it years ago, and why they even put that building there underneath it before taking it down. It just boggles my mind. But anyway, we really need this thing to go. And here's the other tree. It's just nothing but a danger zone over there. Yeah, the whole thing's gonna come down. Here it goes. Whoa. Not bad for a day's work here. They'll be back tomorrow. They'll buck the rest of this up in like 4-foot sections. And when this came down, part of it hit the dome over here, and there's a pipe in there, PVC. And anyway, it broke the pipe, so we capped it off, and they're gonna work on fixing this back tomorrow, but I'm not worried about it. These guys have done a great job. I can't complain about anything going on out here. That's small potatoes. And they left the truck here. They'll be back in the morning and start chipping away at this beast. So the tree trimmer guys are back out here for day number 2. I still cannot believe these guys are out here doing this after all the times I've asked about them and been told it's not in their guidelines. I don't know what changed with their policies, but I feel like asking, are you guys sure you got the right house, the right trees? We got the right paperwork here? I'm not asking no questions.
Okay, look, he's cranking on it. Here goes. This is the first tree they dropped. There'll be a cleaning crew out here in anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to get all this stuff right here and wood chip it.
In the past, these trees have never been what PG&E would consider something that they would have taken care of, because, don't get me wrong, if these trees would have come down in like a windstorm, they would have caused some problems with power lines, no question about it. But because they were like maybe like 5 to 10 feet away from the power lines, they weren't on PG&E's radar. If they were dead, that would have been a different story. But anyway, up to this point, they've passed on it. So I don't know what changed with them and their policies, but I was really surprised that they came out and took these trees down, and I couldn't be happier about it, because I'll tell you what, man, we have been wondering how we are going to take care of this problem for a long time, and the thought of throwing 10 grand out there, that's not in the cards. This tree right here specifically, at different points in the year, for about 3 hours in the morning, it's blocking our solar panels. So with this gone, our solar panels are gonna kick up big time. So that is a major, major bonus there. Anyway, this was a big stressor for us, and it's just kind of a problem that sort of fixed itself. So I couldn't be happier about that.